everybody, and welcome back to Inside the Legend of Vox Machina. I am your host and the voice of Keyleth, Marisha Ray. Today we are back for the second half of Inside the Legend of Vox Machina, covering episodes 7 through 12 of season 4. The full season is now streaming right now on Prime Video.
It's on Prime.
Watch it.
Go watch it. So also with that in mind, obviously there will be spoilers. So if you haven't finished season 4 of The Legend of Vox Machina yet, turn this off. Go watch it. Come back.
Dry your eyes.
We'll be waiting. Yeah, get a tissue, get a snack. You've been warned. That's all I'm saying. Now that that is all out of the way, let's dive back into Inside the Legend of Vox Machina. To start us off, you may have noticed that one of the members of Vox Machina hasn't been around lately.
Nobody noticed.
But we recently saw the return of a one Scanlan Shorthalt. Let's check out this clip of the epic bard-on-bard battle.
Bard.
I don't know who you work for, but that sword's mine.
We'll see.
Demons come out of the shadow. He lifts us up, the downtrodden masses. We are his blood. The war's begun, and ye shall be judged. The children of truth. We are his blood. The whispered one.
How is he doing this?
That damn vestige!
Finally! This be my moment! Thunderstone!
Idiot! Just let the grown-ups handle this.
Out of the gutter, no skills to class. Try to battle me, you can kiss my ass. Face that you're jealous, you got no fans. And wish you could do what I do with my hand. Pathetic one! You're pathetic, son!
Oh, we need to get up there. Hey, Sparkle Boy, can any of those gems give me wings?
Oh, yes! Animal Amethyst, activate!
Sit down. You're in timeout. Let's handle this, boys. 2, 3, 4!
Now be dragged down by darkness.
Can't move.
Or pledge yourself to him.
Oh, you think you got tricks?
Let's solo!
That's not rock. This is rock!
I hope to battle the best bard in the land, but you're a shell of what you once were. And now, it's time for your curtain call.
Really? No!
We must fight back! Sing with me!
Scanlan's back, baby!
So good.
It's finally the good part of the season.
It's all been leading up to this.
Sam, that last note is crazy.
Give us a little acapella right now.
Yeah. Come on, you can hit that.
Whoa.
Oh, my voice is so destroyed. It's from singing that. It has never recovered since then.
You
just-
recorded
wow.
it just last week,
Yep.
right? Yeah.
Oh, I did sing that last note, and then Peter took it and pitched it up 1,000,000%, and then also probably auto-tuned
Did
it.
he put it up a couple octaves?
Yeah.
So what'd you sing it at? Like, ah?
No,
Show us real fast.
it was still falsetto, but it just wasn't that falsetto.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll go back.
We only get Scanlan for one episode this season. What's with that?
Well,
What the fuck is up with that?
What the fuck is
a
up with
lot
that?
of the critics would prefer that.
Strictly consumer feedback. We heard your notes. Less Scanlan? No problem.
We gotta keep that
In the campaign,
It's all for the RT.
you guys might not remember this, but in the campaign, Scanlan did leave
He
the
went
group
away.
for
Yeah.
how many episodes? Like 25?
Not enough.
We remember.
Yes.
You remember.
So we were honoring the campaign. Scanlan left. He went on a journey, and also it's less people to animate if he's gone.
Since we added Terry.
We added in
Gumbo,
Terry.
if you will.
Yeah.
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 He had
So
to do some
A
thinking.
lot more.
We lost one person in game 2
Yep.
to the party, so I don't know if the math is mathing there.
I feel like we should all try and hit Scanlan's high note on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry, Willa.
Oh no! Oh no! That was the brown note.
Shattered the realm.
Well, before we jump into the rest of this episode, I feel like we
yeah.
should introduce. We have Jasmine Don.
Hell yes!
She's one of our writers. You all also may recognize her from Divergence
Yes, that's
here on the
right.
channel. But you wrote this episode.
I did. I co-wrote this episode. This is my first episode ever that I wrote. Co-wrote with Sam.
Is that true?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
I thought you did all of it.
No, I did all the good. For those of you watching at home, I did all the good parts. If there's anyone in this episode that you don't like, that was Sam.
One of them.
You should have just said yes. Yeah. And then, of course, we have Young Heller returning again, who directed this episode. Thank you for coming
Get
back.
all the epic episodes.
I'm not complaining over here.
Well, we were just talking about how this episode is so Metalocalypse.
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah. The Tim House blood is strong. And
Yeah.
Big Metalocalypse fans over here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you, Jasmine? Did you study me and my acting when you wrote this? Get into my character.
Yeah. You know, I paid as. We all try to pay as much attention to you as is absolutely necessary.
As I
and but yeah, no, I mean, like, obviously, Scanlan is such a he's an interesting character, like, deceptively so, because he's so, like, the comic relief character, especially in the first few seasons. And I think, like, bringing this level of, like, humanity to him and exploring kind of the psychological depths, which is what happens in this episode, was, like, so much fun. Like, I really wanted to focus on, like, what it means to be a performer, you know, because that's what Scanlan is. He's a performer. And you and I both have, like, a comedy performing background, you know, and Young's a musician too, like, you know, we all, so I think, like, there's something about being a performer that is very central to Scanlan's character, where it's sort of like how much of what he puts on to others is a show and sort of this character that he's putting on, and how is that distancing him from the people around him who really care about him and who love him and stuff like that. And that was just, like, something I really wanted to explore in this episode, that I was so happy that I got the opportunity to do that.
You nailed it. It was great.
Well, and especially because this episode features a lot of elements adapted from Campaign 1, the famed episode, The Bard's Lament, which was when Scanlan yelled at the party and then
We
left.
also have to point out the fans were like, I can't believe they skipped Bard's Lament in
Yes, they
season
did.
3. How could they do this? That was such a pivotal moment for the campaign. Yeah, just be
Just
patient.
wait. Just wait a
it's
second.
all coming. All right.
Let us cook.
Let us cook.
Exactly.
But yeah,
I'm so happy that we got to pay it homage. It's not the same. It's not the same, obviously. It's not the same moments. It's not the same timeline. But I'm glad that we got to at least pay homage to that and acknowledge it.
And the emotional truth of that moment, I
Yes.
think we managed to, you know.
And the campaign is still there. Go watch it again.
Yeah, the unique challenge of adaptation, if you have so much time to build up to a moment, and if the truncation of it doesn't allow it to pay off properly, we're not going to force it in there, because then it just doesn't feel honest.
No, well,
so this allowed us
especially-
to kind of build up, and it's still have the same emotional beat, but give it a different moment in the story that worked well within the context of what we've already gotten to.
Because it would have been, obviously, the end of Campaign 3 was also so much focused around, like, Scanlan and Kaylee's relationship.
You mean season 3?
Season 3. You are right.
Our brains are mush.
Help.
But yes, the end of
yes.
season 3 was Scanlan Kaylee, and it was the whole group having like a nice resolution. It would have been really weird if Scanlan just started yelling at everybody. End of season.
Right. And plus, this way now we will never forget that your mom's name is Penelope.
Okay.
The Dark Bard. We have to talk about him. Yeah. Tom Cardy.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Tom Cardy.
Friend of the family. Love him so much. How was it? How did Tom Cardy get tossed in?
We needed somebody who could sing to play this Dark Bard character, someone with swagger and charisma. And that's how the kids abbreviate charisma now. They say charisma.
Oh. I thought they just
Swag
say Riz.
and
they say charisma.
Riz is now a full.
But we were doing our shows in Australia.
Yeah.
And I think we were backstage before the first show, maybe the second show, Melbourne. I don't know. We were backstage, and right before we went on, me and Travis walked over to Tom, and we were like, "Do you want to play a part in the cartoon?" And he was like, "What, really?" And we were like, "Yeah."
Well, because I remember we talked about this character a lot.
Endlessly.
Yes.
And it was very hard.
Very
hard to
fit
pick
in that spot.
Yeah.
We used to talk about how we weren't sure, do we find an actor who can sing, a singer who can act?
We had lots of lists. I feel like Dee Snider was on that list. It's Alice Cooper.
Oh,
yeah.
That's right.
Lots of celebrities.
Yeah. They didn't get the call.
No. We do actually have a little video from our beloved Tom Cardy.
Really?
Yes. So let's see what our beloved Dark Bard has to say.
Woo!
Hi, my name's Tom Cardy, and I'm the voice of the Dark Bard in this season of Legend of Vox Machina. It was really, really cool to play this character because, I mean, first of all, evil bard that sings with metal to like destroy his foes. It's literally the coolest thing in my mind at any given time. The high notes and like the screamo style, like I've always loved Guns N' Roses and Motley Crue and glam metal, so it's kind of literally a dream come true. And I know people say that about like roles and like it literally to play a screamo bard that destroys its victims in a D&D show is just so cool. The songs themselves were not super difficult to sing. I feel very lucky that it was kind of in my range. I think I was lucky that we did the screaming parts at the very end, the very high notes, the falsettos, the because I was roasted after that, but it was really fun to do at the time. It is not me playing the guitar. I'm not shredding the guitar. It was kind of weird because usually I write a lot of the tracks or I have a hand in it, but it was wonderful to be directed by Sam and Peter Habib, who wrote the music, and just, you know, go off their vibe. It was a very different experience from what I'm used to, and I loved it. Probably my favorite lyric that the bard sings is nothing too wordy, just probably when he sings Demon Claw and just like rips that high note and vibrates. It reminds me of, to be honest, a fantasy that I have. And I always have this when I'm running on the treadmill. I listen to the song You Spin Me Right Round by Dead or Alive. Go listen to it now. Stop this video and listen to it. And I have, this is me revealing like a truth about myself. I have this daydream where I am an artificer bard and I'm creating copies of myself and I'm fighting like some giant stone golem or something. And it's just this giant crazy scream sounds are like summoning different versions of myself. Anything to make you run that extra 2Ks. Don't judge me. I did not expect this role to be as big as it was or as important for that episode. I honestly thought I was going to come on and be like an extra, and then I realized I had a song. I was like, oh, okay, let's be supporting someone else. I didn't realize it was going to be me taking on all of Vox Machina. And, you know, perhaps that's a spoiler. Oh, bleep that out. But it was crazy. It was insane. And who knows, maybe, well, I don't want to spoil anything else, so maybe I'll shut my stupid mouth.
Incredible.
Tom.
Oh, Tom. Yeah, that bard fight was epic as fuck, you guys.
Epic.
How did you direct it?
Yeah.
How did you draw the whole thing?
No. We had Grace Me, Meg House, really awesome storyboard artists. It's a really high concept thing. It's like sound as weapon. It's like, how do you do that? So, you just kind of take these sort of motifs like flaming skulls that you put in there, sound waves, and then beams of light from their mouths kind of swirling in. It's a lot of stuff that you just kind of gotta throw at the wall and just see what fits. And I think a lot of this is like our comp and effects team just killing it. Just how do you make a metal riff cut something? It's like someone's gotta draw that.
And you're a musician as well.
I do.
What do you play? What's your band called? Where can we find your SoundCloud?
Ooh la la. Go. I'm a metal vocalist for the band
What?
Hexacon.
Yeah, that's right.
Hexagon?
Hexacon, like hex icon. Yeah. So we're, sort
Can
of
you
like
give us a scream?
melodic hardcore. I'm more of a yeller, so if I were to do that, it'd be very, very loud.
Yeah, we don't want to destroy the
We'll
studio.
do it on the break, yeah.
Don't have a yeller?
No,
Good.
yeller.
Do you play guitar? Can you shred?
I can shred. I haven't been shredding recently.
I can't shred.
For 6 months of shredding.
That's right. I have not shredded recently, but in high school, I was the shredder in high school.
Yes.
And, but those days are behind me now. I just scream and yell.
So does that mean it was your idea to turn Mythcarver, the vestige of divergence,
into a guitar?
What was, no. It
was
was.
that your idea?
It was.
That was in the script.
It was not, but I had a really fun time drawing the reveal.
Yeah.
The shine that goes from the head down to the body, and it just kind of comes down. And I think that Jasmine did that. You wrote that reveal, right? You were like, it's got to be this weird reveal.
Also,
where
in this episode, there's also like a drug sequence.
Oh yeah.
How did you do the research for that?
Begrudgingly, dragging my feet
For my art.
to the acid. No, I've lived my life. See, that's why it's some reference. A little bit of reference material, not that much, but sizable. And so, you just kind of glean from what you know.
Sure.
Wait, did you get the spy scene and you had the Feywild scene as well?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Intentionally at all.
I like the chemicals, what can I say?
Yes. That's why that sense of authenticity to them.
Also that great Terry Pike makeout moment.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yes.
The fake out makeout.
Oh, yeah.
Little.
I love soft female lips. I wrote that, and then I remember getting a text from you as I was driving. I just sent you this. You sent me that line, and you're like, "This might be my favorite line."
Oh, wow, soft female lips.
Yeah. Happy Pride Month.
Yes.
I also died because it's so brief, but the moment when everyone is high and it's Keyleth and Vax cuddled up and they just lace hands and they're just like that couple.
That couple. They're going, is this forever?
Yeah.
Kids going home from the dentist.
Yeah. I was very much thinking, I'm like, how would all these characters be high and just? I'm like, Percy's the guy who's not chill about this at all.
No, that's
ruining the vibe. Yeah.
Just ruining.
He's like, I'm not in control anymore.
Yeah.
Your Percy impression, A+.
That was, I don't know. Thanks. I was hoping we were going to gloss over it. Talk about something else.
Can we play that back?
Like, I'm not in control anymore. Get out.
Well, thank you so much to Young and Jasmine for joining us on these luscious brown leather couches.
Luscious brown.
When we come back, we'll be joined by art director Arthur Loftis and lead character designer Phil Bourassa. But first, we saw a new adversary standoff against Vox Machina this season, the cult leader Gideon. Let's take a side-by-side look at his beautiful backstory scene.
Before the calamity, a great plague decimated Exandria. Trying to make sense of it all, my studies of the arcane led me to a beautiful, talented woman whose grief over her lost loved ones matched my own. Together, we sought a way to reach the gods, to implore them to undo their transgressions against us. They did not answer. Their silence only fueled our passion for knowledge and our love for each other. So we vowed to find a way to create a new world, where no innocent fears death, to challenge the gods' so-called order. She was so close. But the gods could not stand to be questioned. Their way was the only way. She was taken from me. As punishment, I was cast out, cursed. Alone again, I was overcome with grief and fury. Not just for her, but for the truth that was stolen from us, from all of us. I swore to even the scales once more, even if I had to become a god myself.
Spooky. Man, yeah, the animation behind Gideon's backstory, so well done, so stylistic once again. What was the inspiration behind that, you guys?
We're always looking for new, interesting art styles to inject into the show, and this one was all handled by Gael Bertrand. He's one of our background designers. He's actually a French comic book artist.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he's been with the studio for a long
If you
time.
can get a French comic book artist
Just
to
anyone.
do graphic inserts for a backstory, you have to do
You
it.
have to
Yeah. If you have access to, that resource, you can't sleep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, he's amazing, and
He can kind of do it all.
he can do everything. And what's cool is it fits in the world. It feels authentic and it's faithful to what we're doing, but you can get so much like extra flourish and texture into those kinds of shots, and you can render it out and see almost what a manga would look like or a graphic novel.
Yeah, I think my head always goes to like, how can we make it feel like this is something in the world? Like, what would this be? Why are we deciding to change the style here? And in this case, it feels like, oh, maybe these are some illustrations or like ancient scrolls
Wood
that
carvings.
someone
That's
in
cool.
the Cobalt Soul took down as to why we are where we are now.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
That's really rad. And yeah, I mean, everything from Tharum Fala as well, and just the art direction behind that as well. I'm assuming you designed Tharum Fala first.
It's always a team effort, but I did some of the initial sketches, and I always like pulling in Arthur Tang. He's incredible, and he always just throws so many interesting ideas. And I think when I was talking to Sunshine about the location design, a lot of it was just like, how do we make this different from literally everything we've done? And we've already done a lot of really different stuff.
That's the problem with the fourth season, is you're kind of running out of ideas.
We were trying to get away, make sure that it didn't look like the Hells.
Right.
Yeah.
And it does not.
I remember even just seeing some of the early designs come over for this. Like, once again, Tharum Fala and Tropis, these are all things that have existed in my imagination for so long, our collective imaginations, but like in my brain, and I was like so excited to see what it would look like and be ready to dig into a whole fuck ton of notes. And then I didn't have to, because it all looks amazing and pretty close to what I imagined, and then even further, even more cool.
Yeah, we've also been sort of intentionally, unintentionally, ever since season 1, any necrotic magic sort of has a purple tone to it, and so when we go down there, it just seemed right to just make everything that same tone.
It's definitely like monochromatic. You almost want it to feel like this is a place where nothing can live. Like it's just a shattered landscape, and then there's just this weird monolith growing out of it. And what does it all mean? And why are there chains everywhere? And does that have some thematic reason? Well, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
Well, and then we have the second Ziggurat in this as well.
Yes.
And what was, like, there's got to be a design language between the Ziggurat and the one under Whitestone.
Yeah, definitely. We're trying to connect things in subtle ways, but we also don't want it to be like a one-to-one kind of copy of it. So there's obviously different gods in the pantheon, and each one kind of like, is this connected to some evil entity or otherwise, and obviously these followers are always taking things that don't belong to them and kind of using it for the cult. So we wanted to keep some of that kind of iconography there from the first Ziggurat.
We also made it super hard for you because in the script, we wrote in a basement under the Ziggurat.
Yeah, in the temple.
Yeah, and I remember we spent a lot of time figuring out like, okay, she's on a balcony facing people, but then they go to an inner chamber, but you can see the portal from outside, but also there's a basement that's right under it.
A lot of what we're doing is drawing maps. It always works out in the end, though. But yeah, it was basically like there's a basement, and then another layer they go into, and then the top floor, and I think it really came together really nicely. And you get those cool camera movements where you actually like start at the base floor and pull all the way out through the top.
Well, to your point, it really set the concept of like each of these spaces had previous history and purpose before they were repurposed by the cult for this reason. It just gives you a little glimpse into what this could have possibly been long ago.
Yeah, I think the fun part of designing all these spaces is kind of inventing reasons for things to work the way they do, and we always wanted to make sense, even if no one is ever going to think about it as much as we did.
The internal logic comes through in the design. If people don't question why, they're like, this feels reasonable. Right. This feels like it has purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also went back and I was looking at some of the early outlines. Gideon used to be called Crispin. Do you remember that?
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Crispin? Yeah.
He had a couple names.
Hi, I'm Crispin.
Gideon is a much better name.
And Crispin Glover, I think, was our backup. If
is that why? It was because we were like, oh, we're gonna make him a little Crispin Glover-y?
Well, in our mind, we had like a Crispin Glover idea, and then the physical design of Gideon was launched from a different character entirely, and so we changed the name.
Yeah.
I think Laura was watching Practical Magic.
Someone said Hayden Quinn, right?
Hayden Quinn, the
yes.
cop that shows up with the sheriff's badge. I was like, that guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what a trustworthy priest looks like.
Didn't he also, for a while, he was just the hot priest, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
We called him hot priest for a while.
How yoked he is. He's like Ned Flanders.
Shredded.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He does kettlebell, you guys.
We went back and forth on like pulling back on the, because I went all in on the making him ripped like.
Yeah, that early design, which is
Yeah.
And I think people were like, should he
had
be
obliques.
that ripped?
He had some serious
But we
deltoid
did.
and
He's still, he's got
Still
it.
pectoral
ripped,
striation. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's when he's
look
been
at
in the
that.
washing machine a few too many times. Man, that is messed up.
That's
course.
That's some peptide uses with that.
We've got to talk about Gideon's first lieutenant, which is eventually revealed to be Delilah. Delilah Breyer.
Spoiler.
Yeah, spoilers. And then she has a really awesome secret study that's hidden under Whitestone. Speaking of basements, how about them basements,
That's
you
right.
guys?
Yeah.
This
that
whole
was fun.
season is brought to you by basements.
Kinda, yeah.
You need story space, just go down.
Oh, look at her.
That's such
It's
a pretty
weird.
dress.
That episode feels like it's gonna be small because it's in the basement of Whitestone, and it's like, oh, surely there couldn't be that much stuff down there. And then it was like 8 rooms, and they're all connected, and everyone's going across, and it was so complicated. But our artists like went crazy designing everything out, and like giving Delilah her own flavor for her study, and like just surrounding it with her little accoutrement and stuff. It was really fun. They had a blast.
That Briarwood rot ran deep.
It had to be a nice space down there too, because they used it to sort of get away and so that the sunlight wouldn't hit Silas back in the day. So it had to look nice too. It had to,
homey.
It just looked like an evil crypt.
Yeah.
But then there was also evil crypt parts.
Yeah, it gets weirder the deeper you go too.
There she is.
Yeah,
This
look at
design
that.
was so much fun. Phil, you killed this.
This was
You also
so
had
cool.
so many choices from it
This was
too.
a lot of fun. We went through a lot of iterations for this one.
So cool. We wanted to hide her face.
Yeah, we wanted her to be mysterious. We couldn't reveal who she was till mid-season, right?
Yeah.
And so we went back and forth on the collar, keeping it closed, keeping her mouth, not visible behind that high collar. So there was a point where I was a little worried, like, we're not going to see her eyes, we're not going to see her mouth. But I think it really works for what it needs to be, so that we don't give everything away until the appropriate moment. You know,
It makes her more menacing. Just
Yeah,
to see,
exactly.
kind of that little sliver of her
Yeah.
face until you get to know her a little bit later.
She serves a whisper.
Yeah.
A mystery, a secret.
And the whole back half of this season, especially after, I feel like after the Dark Bard fight, the back half is just, it's so dark. It's so rough. It
Yeah,
just
it's
kind
brutal.
of, it takes a turn.
It's one way to interpret it, I guess.
Gotta ramp up the stakes to make all the cool action set pieces at the end feel like they mean something, and I mean, the stakes are definitely there.
Oh,
Look who this is.
Oh, yeah. Look at
Speaking of Campaign
this.
3.
Something else lives under the castle.
Speaking of death.
Yeah, another tie-in back to season 1, which I think she's one of the people on the tree.
Yes.
Whitestone.
Yeah.
And I definitely did not know that we were going to be going back to that design.
I don't think we knew.
Yeah. So
think-
that's always a funny place to be, because you're like, oh, had I known, I might have, put like different sort of hints in the original pass. But I think we made it work.
No, I mean, it was perfect. And we kind of talked about this when we were talking during our press junket. Like, the thing that's so unique about this show is that we were going through campaign 3, and that reveal happened in campaign 3 while the production of this one was happening.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So it was kind of like
timeline-wise.
Yeah, it was like retroactive canon.
That's right.
Being added on. But I designed Laudna's design, like the belts that I had in her first campaign, or in the campaign, the first design iteration was was based off of this like 3 buckle belts in the color palette. So it
was sort of feeding.
It's kind of an Ouroboros.
So season 1 of this show helped inspire Laudna.
Yes.
And then Laudna helped inspire
Season 4.
Yeah, we brought
4.
Yeah, because when we first did Whitestone in season 1, we were in the middle of Mighty 9 in the live stream. So Bell's Hells wasn't even on our minds yet.
And that, what you say of creating retroactive canon, is one of my favorite things about what we do.
Yeah.
Like, we just make everything we do richer because we're like grabbing from other shelves, from places we've been, stories we've told.
Different
So much
layers
fun.
of storytelling.
Yeah.
Because we were saying we did the same thing with Xerxes in season 3, because we were doing Calamity.
Right.
And then Xerxes, Luis Carrazzo's character, got sucked into the Hells, and then that got added in to season 3.
I'm coining that pushing back the fog of lore.
Ooh, nice.
Fog of lore. That's so
like
good.
the further you go, the more the lore just kind of ends up spreading.
Well, speaking of insane darkness, we have another fun little thought for you guys.
Ooh.
Based off of Grog's horrible tragic moment. I wanted to thank Phil Bourassa and Arthur Loftis for once again joining us. Thank you for spending time with us.
You're welcome, Marisha.
Oh, God. Oh, God, we got to toss to the sun. When we come back, we will be joined by episodic director Eugene Lee and co-executive producers Frank Angones and Jin Ahn. Yeah, let's take a look at this horrible, tragic little mix-up with Vox Machina.
Grog!
No!
Oh shit! Oh shit! Yeah, changes have come to Vox Machina. So that's obviously, of course, one of the big ones was that Grog did not die in the campaign.
He died in
but
other
he died
ways.
Here.
He died in other ways in the campaign.
He did. Yeah, he died
Sword kill him?
emotionally. He died physically. He died. There was a beholden death. I think I was the first one.
That's true. Well, much like how we also moved, Bard's Lament later. This was Grog's death from Craven Edge in the campaign.
Oh yes.
It's now been just shifted to in a much more horrible way in campaign 4.
He also died every time we went shopping.
That's true.
Yes.
That was Travis.
Death by 1,000 cuts.
You know who else died?
Huh?
We did when we did the make.
You got torn into so many pieces.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, welcome.
It looks so good though.
Yeah.
The like spaghettification.
Yeah,
action.
I mean, all credit goes to Eugene, the director of the episode.
Yes.
Let's go, Eugene.
Trauma lead.
I just remember Travis kept asking for more.
More gristle,
More
more
gristle.
crunch.
I was like, I feel like I pushed it already, and Travis was like, no, it needs to be more.
Yeah, listen, everybody has an executioner, and when it was Percy's time to die, we went to Eugene.
Yeah.
When it was Grog's time to die, we went to Eugene. I said, make it hurt, make it
I also
crispy,
killed
baby.
Vex too.
I'm
I'm collecting my infinity,
That's
gauntlet.
collecting all of the stuff.
So that's like a great Easter that formed while we're in production, where Eugene got all the major death scenes in the story. And it just happened like coincidentally.
Yeah, I just somehow lined up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, after the first two, we're like, well, he has a knack for this thing, killing people. So
Yeah. So now we know when we see Eugene come in.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna
gonna die.
Yeah. He's the Grim Reaper of
2D
animation.
only, animation.
Yeah. Probably a good time to introduce Eugene Lee,
Yes.
our episodic director, and of course, Jin Ahn.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us again, our overall art director of the whole dang show.
Supervising
director.
Yes. It's kind of like driving a boat with people on it, but yeah.
Oh, really? It's just like driving a boat?
Yeah.
Wow.
With people, because then they're like in
But
charge
with-
of their lives, you know?
Right.
Like, it's a metaphor.
That's also true of a car or a plane. Why'd you pick a boat?
Because I don't have one.
If I don't have one, I can talk about it.
That's valid.
It's called fantasy, Frank.
So yeah, obviously Grog died. Big surprise to our fan base. I know. Why Grog?
This guy over here.
Who's what? Oh my God, Frank Angones, everybody. I forgot that you were, I didn't see him. I'm sorry, he blended in with Sungjin's drink. He camouflaged.
At this time. Unidentified. Place your bets in the comments.
He hasn't taken a sip yet. I don't know. It may be acid.
Frank Angones, welcome, sir.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Our head writer, Frank Angones.
And president of the Tyrion Darrington fan club.
Yes.
Yes.
Please.
Oh,
We all know that Tyrion is the president of the Tyrion Darrington fan club.
That's true. That is true.
Yes,
There was no louder or stronger advocate for Tyrion Darrington in the writer's room than Frank. I think every morning it was like a daily devotional as we came in with our tea and donuts about how Terry was the best character in the entire campaign.
Now, I gotta ask, why would a braggadocious, blowhard writer who joins Vox Machina in season 4 speak to me personally? As a, no, he's the best. What are you guys talking about? Okay, I didn't even know there was a show before he showed up. My God.
You have to segue that when I first got to experience the writer's room in season 4, and I met you for the first time, I was like, I don't know about this Frank guy, but over episode to episode, you started growing on me,
Just
much
like
just like Tyrion. Because I was like, where's Tyrion? What happened?
He may ruin this all, but he seems fundamentally harmless, I guess. I do want to point out the use of the word spaghettification was one of my favorite words in that writer's room, because we just kept calling Grog's death spaghettification. It was the stupidest fucking word I've ever heard. We kept pushing it. Is this gonna be cool?
Yeah,
Or is
that's physics, baby.
Yeah, man. Ugh. And it was.
Yeah.
It was very cool.
Yeah, it was horrible. We had to motivate Pike to go chase, to go after. And we were tossing out a variety of things. Wilhan was the initial tee up, but it had been time had passed. And one of the things we tossed out very quickly was like, what if the buddies went?
Yeah. Which I think is the only way Pike would turn against the group, is to save her buddies. It's like it's such a awful place to be in.
Your last family member ripped from.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that was the thing that Sam said when we first came into the room. He's like, how can we do Dark Pike? That was the Sam, and figuring out how to do that. Is like, she's so likable, she's so relatable. Like,
I was like, ain't no way.
We're gonna have to.
It's not gonna happen.
And we kept going by degree. I remember Chris McGann in the room was the one who said, like, day 2 of the brainstorm was like, let's kill Wilhand. I was like, that's insane. We're not gonna kill Wilhand. And then progressively was like, I think we're killing Wilhand. And then it just like, but it's not
Wilhand?
enough, and we had to keep going. It was like,
By the way, Eugene Lee also directed that sequence.
Wait, did you really?
I did.
Master of
What the hell?
Yeah.
Really?
I get you a scythe. Have it like
Yeah.
You know, it just I feel like whenever there's a death in an episode, I'm like, let me take it.
Yeah.
Let me take it.
I got this.
do you enjoy that kind of drama? Do you watch when you're just at home, or you watch sad things?
Faces of Death. Reruns.
What a pull.
A little bit, yeah. You know, I put on the sad music, and like when I board it, as long as I shed a single tear, I'm like, okay, I think I got it.
You do have the special music cues in your boards that we then have to find a replacement for, but it's always set to like some kick-ass piece of music that we can't license.
Cool.
Right, for Percy's death.
Yeah,
right?
Percy's death, absolutely.
It's so kick-ass that Sam has to make his own song to the attempt.
It's so funny, it's like we talked a little bit after campaign 1 too about all the stuff that you wanted to explore with Pike and things that we didn't have time for, and there was discussions of the faith and like the possible fall that we never could. So now to be able to get that in there and meaningfully going through the series, the Dark Pike arc discussion began earlier seasons. It was stuff we started seeding end of season 2, parts of season 3, but as we were doing it, was to your point, it was like we're setting up for Dark Pike. And we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. God help future us when we have to.
We're so inconsiderate of them.
Future us. Yeah, I feel like there were a few of those cans that we kicked down the road with this season that we were like, kick it again. Yeah.
Can is metaphorically us, right? Like, we're in the can.
Sorry.
We're in the phantom zone, just floating forward.
Right.
Help us again.
It did, of course, set up a really great fight, though, between Pike and the Whispered One, Mr. Wispies. That was another.
That was where Crispin came from. It went from because we went from because his name was the Whispered One and always has been. There's never been anything else.
Yeah.
And then Wispy.
And
then Crispy.
And
then Crispin. And then he was Crispin for a long time.
That's right. Yeah.
Because we're stupid. That's why I love Crispin.
Sounds like a great haul.
Yeah. But it was very validating when Pike finally stands up to Mr. Wispies.
Yeah.
Fights back.
It's like gets her wits about her again. Realizes what's important.
You know, for the keen eye viewer, that specific moment when Pike comes back and has a heroic moment against Wispy, we did like 7 to 10 passes on that shot, just adding a little bit more extra like zazz and visual flair, like the reflection on the sword, reflection on the ground, the glows. Usually we don't do that level on a normal shot, but realizing that was a very important moment, you know, we wanted to take the time to really just keep adding more layers to it, and like the final comping animation.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Thank you.
It's a beautiful moment.
I'll take all the credit. Thank you.
First member to wear 2 vestiges at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
We have all of them.
Yeah.
Oh, you had 3.
You
had
3.
Yeah, that's right.
The gauntlets, the sword, and then the cloak.
Yeah.
And the plate of
John Martyr.
That's right.
And the mace. Badass.
So powered up.
We did, we tried to make sure when we're boarding a 2-2, make sure to showcase all 3 in some organic way during the fight.
Well, that was the thing when we were figuring out the fight. It was like, how is one member of Vox Machina going to stand against all of the rest of Vox Machina? And it was the 1-2 punch of how powered up can we get her, and how pissed off can we get her? And like, if Grog's life is hanging in the balance in that room, she's not going to stop. Like,
she's going to be a mama bear and be like, oof, I'll fight whoever tries to come for this body.
And then, of course, we had to make room for Vax's power up.
Yeah.
We actually have another animatic of that. So let's take a look at that clip.
Let's go.
Now that's more like it. Wait. That's new.
Yeah.
That's my boyfriend.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to Chris Pernosky for voicing the Beastmaster.
Yeah.
Doing a great job.
Owner of Tiphouse.
Yeah.
So good.
That's just how he sounds.
Oh, that helmet.
Cool.
That helmet is so rad.
He's a burb.
He's a burb.
That's a Phil Bourassa special.
Oh, so cool.
It had a nice like balance of like kind of retro anime with some sleek shape language.
Yeah, it has very kind of Gatchaman-esque sort of inspo.
Yeah, definitely.
I have a question I don't know the answer to. So there's a psych out moment in the back end of this campaign, right? Where they come and the hunter, the Beastmaster, is mistaken. And he also had a bird helmet. Was that forethought or happy accident?
Oh.
That Vax has this new level up helmet.
What was that sound?
That was my drink.
Yeah, it was actually a happy accident. We were going to pay off the bird skull on the Beastmaster along with the hunch in the back like we talked about earlier, but it changed just upon execution. And then when the helm came about, Phil gave us a variety of options for the helm, and that one just fucking slapped.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until the front of the helm visor dipped and we were like, oh, that could be a cool misdirect thing. So yeah, we just took advantage.
And then, of course, we set up all season about the blight that Vax had, turning out to be a little twist, and it was actually, protection from the Matron of Ravens.
Yeah, I guess we were just talking about like, why is she doing this to him?
Yeah.
Why is she making him feel so bad all the time? And we realized that like, what if she was preparing him for this journey into Thar-Amphala, where he's going to need this special ability, special vision, special senses to him that sort of only work down there. So she was preparing him the whole time for this final encounter.
Yeah.
But it was great because thematically that worked so well too, because she didn't tell him about it, and that's everything that the Whispered One is saying is like, they don't fucking tell you anything.
Yeah.
Like it was really. I think actually it was Travis's idea. It was your episode where the person who finds Pike is Vax, and Pike has just been like poisoned by this mentality that the Whisperer says, why? They don't tell you anything, and they just think you should die. Take control of shit. And so the first person she comes across, and when as we learn, she's already given up it's already too late.
Yeah.
Is the guy that this would affect most. And it was really, I really loved that scene. I loved seeing Vax and Pike, the two kind of most stalwart defenders of specific gods, arguing theology before beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
Frank, I just have these flashbacks.
PTSD.
Of you being in the room too, and then we'd be talking about somewhere halfway through the season, and you'd be like, fuck, we gotta track this blight though. And we'd be like, fuck! And have to go back.
We also had to see so many iterations in the design process, and it's gradually growing on Vax, right?
Yeah.
Which is also hard because he wears long sleeves.
Long
so you can't
sleeves,
really
yeah.
tell
Has
how
to pull them shits
out.
They're in bed.
Can he be shirtless?
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I think I had 24 lines in this season of going, your blight. It's getting worse.
Yep.
Thank you for telling people, because otherwise,
we had so many conversations. The ripples, though, led to other ripples, which led to other ripples. The blight had to then be removed, and how are we going to remove it? Oh, we'll make a flower that comes off of the birth heart, and Vasselheim, Keyleth will, all these things that just had
Couldn't
to.
we just put some cortisone on it and called it a day?
Yeah.
Ice cream, just
Benadryl.
Yes.
Important flower.
Pretty flower.
So good, so pretty.
Book.
But then this, I super love the kind of mirroring between Keyleth and Delilah through this, because it's two women who will do anything for their mans, and I love it for different reasons.
It's showing real compassion.
Results for sure.
Yeah.
And then the storytellers, whoever those bastards are, really twist the knife with how things shake out.
I was told you had to die, all right? This
You were supposed to say Yeah, we had our marching orders. We knew what was coming. But the misdirect is what we were aiming for.
It was how it ended in the original campaign, and it's a beat you can't really change.
Yep.
No.
And you don't really want.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
No. Something we did change, though, was kind of using the cult members and all of the blinded eyes as kind of like projections, almost televising Vox Machina bending a knee to Mr. Wispy's.
Yeah, we had talked about like what would be we knew we wanted to end the season in defeat. We wanted to end the season with Vox Machina fucking up. Like they made a mistake that got this guy to ascension, and what's more, that's bad. Failure's bad. But if the whole world knows that they failed, that's even worse. And so we were like, how can we show the world that this is happening? And we realized, like, oh wait, we've been gouging out eyes all season for a reason. We could use that. That was his way of planting in like some sort of astral projection feature into them, and so the world could see through sort of his absence of eyes what was going on down there.
Well, I forgot.
An extension of his miracle.
Yeah.
And so people could witness it.
And I forgot who in the room said like, oh, he should be looking for followers, and Vox Machina has followers now.
Yeah.
That's not a thing that they had 4 seasons ago.
20K, 30K, how many on the platform?
I don't know. How many can we afford to put in one shot at one time?
More followers.
But no, that was. I remember saying that was a big thing too. We talked about. It's like, yeah, they're here. They are who they said they were back in season 1. You know, it's like they have achieved. They are the heroes that they always claimed they were. And what happens when you buy into your own hype a little bit? And what happens when you let your guard down and just stop the fighting? And are you so much about Scanlan being missing was that too?
Yeah.
Really, it's an allegory on Liam's fame. As he's grown in fame and part of Critical Role, he's become just too high on his own supply. And
You're filling me with anxiety with this joke right now. Let's move on.
All with that. Well, things are real bad for Vox Machina. You guys, fate of Exandria is still at stake. What's going to happen? I don't know. I guess we're going to have to wait for season 5. But unfortunately, that is a wrap on Inside the Legend of Vox Machina for this run. Thank you so much to Sungjin, to Frank, and to Eugene, all for joining us, as well as all of our other previous guests. As always, it is such a massive labor of love from so many people to get these episodes done and out the door and into your beautiful eyes. Kind of like this clip.
Nice. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's real.
This animatic
Wow.
of the rise of a new god in Exandria. Take a look. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Take care, friend.
By the covenant sealed in her blood, your body shall transform into a vessel of divinity. Take your sacred vow.
As you are my blood, I am yours. May it nourish a new path, free of pain, suffering, free of the tyranny of the old gods. A world where our fate is our choice, for your new god makes it so.